We're looking at a bullet hole that was shot during a terrorist attack here in Rehov Ghazi in the Har Nof section of Yerushalayim. One would never know that the learning which continues here today continues as though nothing ever happened, though of course it did. We're here in Har Nof on Rehov Ghazi at Kehillah B'nai Torah. A couple of months ago, though you would never know it, two terrorists walked into this shul and killed 4 Choshev young alike. Today we're going to interview Rabbi Shmuel Goldstein, a survivor of that vicious terrorist attack. And hopefully each of us will learn something from it and make it something meaningful that we integrate into our lives. Shmuel Goldstein, it's great to see you. We've seen your interviews. We've heard you speak many times about the tragic incident that happened 2 months ago in Rabbi Reuben Shul in Rehov Ghazi here in Har Nof in Eretz Yisrael. You've told the story many times before, but there are aspects of the story that perhaps people haven't heard yet and need to learn from, both members of the observant Jewish community and members of the not as yet observant Jewish community. If it's not too painful for you, Shmuel, can you relate to us what happened on that day, what you were thinking, and then we'll talk about after the aftermath in terms of what you think people really should understand and appreciate about this.
Okay, so if I could break down the story to, there was like 2 parts of the story in a way. There was the first 2 minutes, which I found out later, and it was the worst part. That was where the four people were murdered. And
you knew all 4 of them?
I knew all 4 of them. I didn't know that it happened until a couple of days later. But that was the first 2 minutes. After that, there was a lot of nisim, a lot of miracles that happened that was prevented any more anyone else from getting killed. There were the injuries, but there wasn't the gun. First of all, the gun jammed of the terrorist.
What happened exactly? First of all, who were the perpetrators? Were they known in the community? Did people know who they were?
No, people thought they were. There was reports they were from a local store. They were from a supermarket, but it turned out it doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like they worked in the neighborhood itself. They did work in some Jewish store some Jewish place because they knew Hebrew very well. They said like 2 or 3 things in Hebrew. Aside from when they first walked in, they said something in Arabic, but they did speak Hebrew. So they came in, and they came in already in the hallway. They shot one person. They shot somebody, Rabbi Levine, and then after that, that itself actually was somewhat of a miracle that they decided to do that, because strategically that wasn't a good idea, because that let everyone know that they're starting already. That made it so everyone else after that knew to take cover or to try to escape. So that was the first part. Then when they came in, they said something in Arabic, and a friend of mine told me that was when he already knew that he has to run away. And
you saw them?
I didn't see them until in the beginning. I didn't see them. I just knew there was something happening, and everyone was jumping down. So I jumped down also, and I didn't see them until later, until after they started. Actually, even when I stayed down on the table, even after they came and hit me with a knife, with the meat cleaver, and it was only later after they finished with the meat cleaver and they were standing there, then I got a good look at them, and then that's when I decided I was able to go over to one of them and start to pull them down. that was like I said, that was part of the miracle was that they gun jammed and they were able to. I saw him standing there with his gun jammed, trying to fix it, and that was when I was able. That basically ended what they could do, and there was they had about 2 minutes left, and that was when I was wrestling with him, and then I went out, and by the time 2 minutes later, by the time I got into the ambulance, then that's when
he had struck you already. He had struck you already with the.
Yeah, I was lying on the floor after being struck, and then Hashem gave me koyach to just get up and wrestle with him. So
somebody said that he told you to get out.
Yeah, that was afterwards. While I was wrestling with one of them, the other one came over, and he told me to get out of there.
In what language did he say then?
Hebrew.
Just like that?
He said lech mipo. He wasn't so happy, obviously, but. That was.
But they chose not to do anything further. I mean, you were already struck with a meat cleaver and bleeding, and obviously in pretty serious shape.
Yeah, and that was for me. That was a big miracle. That I think about it that when people if I wouldn't have done it, people say to me why I didn't. Maybe I should have tried to run away or something. But I thought of it the other way that if I wouldn't have done it, then who knows it's very possible Hashem saved me from, medically because I tried to do something to help out, to help stop their plan.
You sent your 2-year-old was in the shul also.
12-year-old.
12-year-old.
We always davened together, and it was also a big nace that he managed to crawl out. Usually he's very dependent. Usually he asks me permission before each thing that he does, every move he makes. But here he's crawled out and he ran away. He ran home.
What's the extent of your injuries now? I notice you're still wearing a bandage.
Yeah, I have injury in the back still, and I have an injury on my head. They chopped me in a couple places, and. The ear, Baruch Hashem, they were able to reattach my ear. Baruch Hashem, it came together. But the other places they have to come together, all the skin and all the bruises, and also they have to. There was a piece of bone they took out. They have to replace.
What do you want people to recognize in this? Both those people that are members of the observant community and people those that are not, that recognize that obviously this was a terrible tragedy and you're a survivor. What do you think people need to take away from this? We have to have emunah in Hashem. We have to realize that the people that were there saw all the nisim, all the miracles, and that itself shows us that Hashem does have, Hashem loves us and cares for us, and Hashem. That's why Hashem. That way Hashem saved us from the terrorists from doing worse than what they did. It's the Haftarah in Kiseitse and also Noach. It says the pasuk says that the pasuk says Berega katan azavtich. Uverachim gedolim, that afterwards is rachim gedolim, and also says shetzav ketzav histarti, uvechesed olam richamtich. It says that Hashem makes is shetzav ketzav of the din of the aziba. What's the shetzav ketzav?
Like a big foam, it's like a big whirlpool or a big foam that just like. Just like that, like in a bubble bath or something, where there's a big foam, like in the washing machine. All of a sudden, you can't see what's going on. It's just one big mish, and then comes afterwards Chesed Olam. Hashem has Rachmanas on us and Chesed Olam. So we could take from this that after we run through this, now there's a tremendous rachamim that Hashem is bringing on us, and Hashem is going to. Bring a lot of chesed on us and a lot of good things, and Hashem did this to shake us up and get us to tshuva, Basically, now there's very good things are from Kadosh Baruch Hu.
Yes, Hashem. But what would you want somebody, let's say somebody's not observant as yet, and they would look at this and say, look what happened, what a tragedy. Is there something now that you, Baruch Hashem, your life was given back to you, that you would urge people to do, or would ask them to do, or think would be something that they could possibly glean from this, to take upon themselves something? And that could be for anybody, really, but something you feel a personal sense of urgency for people to want to do?
Yeah, so the one thing that I mentioned in a previous interview is Shabbos, that one should keep Shabbat in any possible way. There's ways for everyone to. There's always room for improvement. There's always some people, even somebody who was already keep Shabbos, but now they could always keep in a higher level, and somebody who doesn't obviously could start to keep, and also could influence others to keep Shabbos. And we also see that a stronger message from the attack in France, where
the one that happened in Paris just recently.
Yeah, that was when people were buying stuff for Shabbos. So that was like even more of a direct message. But also, I want to say that we could look at two other attacks, which was at the same time of each one. Hashem brought another attack on the Goyim. Then it was in Afghanistan, as far as I heard, that Afghanistan there was a school that the terrorists went into and shot up the whole school. And in Paris, then they went in and they shot like the most part or all of this office of the journalists of the newspaper. And over there, then Hashem let them just wipe out the whole thing. It was like a mass destruction. So I take from that is that Hashem shows us that by us, then Hashem does miracles to show us that Hashem loves us and Hashem will take care of us. So for me, I take that to show that Hashem loves us. Hashem is not. That's the reason. More reason to have faith in Hashem and to accept to do certain mitzvos, like for example Shabbos, or there's many other things, tefillin, or to daven to Hashem, and in general just to have faith in Hashem. If we have faith in Hashem, then Hashem will do good things for us. Will save us.
Do you think the other families that were affected, that did lose fathers and husbands, are you in touch with those families? Have they themselves also felt similar to the way you do, that we have to take something out of this and strengthen ourselves?
I didn't speak to them. I only spoke to one of the children over there, but I know they spoke when they spoke very strongly about it, and when they spoke by the Shloshim and by everything, and they also said they also pointed out certain things they want everyone to strengthen, and they themselves are very strong in Munah. It was very clear from how they spoke.
We wish you a refuah shlema. Shmuel Goldstein, thank you very much.
Thank you.